Hi, this is Lindsay. Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be making homemade stencils. This is part 2 of the February Junk Journal project with me. We're working on a mixed media themed journal. And in episode 1, we did button flowers, and we're going to be using those on the cover. And episode 2 here, we're going to be making some of our own stencils so that we can be using those on the pages later on. These are simple cardstock stencils. All you need is cardstock and paper punches. And if you purchased the kit, the mixed media kit that we're using together, then, trying to adjust my light here. Sorry, guys. If you purchased that, then you would have received a stencil that I made, plus some cardstock that you can use to make one yourself. So I'm going to show you a couple of different things that you can do and then how you can use them, and we will be using them in a later episode. So it does not matter what size cardstock. I'm just starting with it's close to a 4x6. It's not exactly a 4x6. And first I'm going to show you how I made the one that is in the kit. If you haven't purchased the kit and you want to, you can click the link below. It is on sale right now. I'm using a Martha Stewart butterfly punch. Now you can pull out any punches that you have. You could also, if you want to be fancy, you could use your die cut machine or like Silhouette or Cricut or something like that. All right, but we're just using punches in this one. So what I did is I punched a butterfly out, and then I kind of did one opposite, just like that. And then I have a teeny tiny butterfly punch. And in order to get it where I wanted it, I trimmed the stencil down on all sides. There is no science to this. If you have a pair of scissors, it will work just as well because it is just a stencil. Now, I know there may be some questions about how durable a cardstock stencil will be. The answer is it doesn't really matter because it's just a piece of cardstock and you can always remake it if it doesn't last. But in my experience, if you're fairly gentle with them, once they dry, you can use them at least several times, if not more. And usually as they dry, like if you're spraying them or using coffee solution or something like that, they tend to thicken up. And they might look really ugly, but they work. Okay, so now we have our little punch, and what I did is I just punched 4 of them around. You don't have to do it this way. You can come up with any combination of punches you want, but this is how I made it for the kit, and we'll be using this. Also, I didn't include the punch outs in the kit, but I'm just going to say you can use those as kind of a reverse stencil if you would like to. I'm going to just show you a couple other ideas for stencils. A little bird, that would be adorable to punch out on a stencil. Even if you have a border punch and you punch out like a border, you can also use that as a stencil. So let's get into some stenciling here. All right, I grabbed just some, well, that is not a piece of scrap. I grabbed a scrap piece here. It's just 20-pound copy paper. And I'm going to grab just a book here. This is a college typewriting book. I don't care if the cover gets kind of sprayed or whatever, because you know, it's just one of my rip books. Okay, here we go. So the basic technique, and we can go further into this when we're actually decorating our pages in the journal in a later episode, but you're going to use it just like you would any regular stencil. I have my own special concoction here. You don't need a special concoction, but this is a Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist in Viva Pink. And then I added some leftover Heidi Swap Color Shine that was in a similar color, a little more orangey. And I just mixed it together because I think the spray bottle on the Heidi Swap wasn't working very well. And I mixed them and I love the effect. So you can use something like this and just kind of from a distance, lightly spray. Lift up your stencil. Hopefully this will show up on the camera because it's a very light pink. But you got some butterflies there, and when that dries, it's going to be very shimmery as well. Or you could use an ink pad and some kind of a blending tool. This is a Ranger one that I got at Hobby Lobby, but if you have like a makeup sponge or a household sponge or something like that, it would work too. In any color ink, I have purple here, and you can just kind of pat it all in there. I'm not doing any advanced techniques, and I'm no master of mixed media, but I did think that I would show you a couple of things that I do. And of course, I do some more advanced techniques in my journals, but yeah, this is basically what I do for the most part. I just kind of smack it all around there, and look at how pretty that is. So that is the basis of what we're going to be doing with the stencils. And let's just try this just so I can show you kind of what you'd be getting. See? And if you had that punched all the way across, you can make a really pretty sprayed edge. And same thing if we ink it. Beautiful. So even if you're not making this journal along with us, this is still an idea that you can use in your art journaling, your mixed media projects. Just, you know, the options are endless. And if you're really good at drawing and cutting out, like with an X-Acto knife, or say you don't really have paper punches, you can cut a heart out. Let me grab my scissors. I'll show you. Okay, so if you have a piece of cardstock and you fold it in half and you cut a heart out, I mean, we all know how to do this. Cut 2 hearts out here. And you could do different sizes. And there you have a stencil. And it will work the same way. It's sprayed, and here it is inked. So that really, you know, stencils can get expensive, especially when you're trying to get a lot of different ones. This way you can add a few basic shapes without having to spend money. And also, if you have any friends that have paper punches or die cutting machines, you could, you know, either swap die cuts, swap punch outs. They won't cost very much if you just take your punches and you punch some cardstock out and send it to them, and they send theirs to you, and you would get more to use just like that. So I'm really excited to be using this in the mixed media journal, and I hope that you will continue to follow along with me, with or without your kit. So have a wonderful, wonderful day.